Welcome to Fractional Focus, the Quickly Hire podcast where we spotlight exceptional fractional professionals who are helping businesses scale and thrive. I'm your host, Brad Morrison. In each episode, we dive into the journeys, strategies, and success stories of top talent who have chosen the fractional path. Whether you're a founder looking to level up your team or a professional considering the fractional career track, these conversations will give you valuable insights into the future of flexible work. Today, we're joined by Kerry, a virtual assistant from South Africa who built a thriving remote career after leaving the corporate world. Kerry coordinates projects and manages social media for executive teams while balancing life as a mother of two, a testament to how specialized skills fuel remarkable professional growth. Hey everyone, I am here with Kerry. Kerry, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So Kerry is a virtual assistant, as you've seen. Kerry, we would love to just hear more about your background and how you got into this career.
I actually was a qualified hairstylist. I did hair on and off for 28 years. And a couple of years I left that and went corporate. But working in a corporate environment it's just so controlled, there's no flexibility. And so I started offering my services online, PA services, transcribing, got little clients here and there. And then it was in December 2023 that I got contacted by Quickly Hire on LinkedIn. And since then, it's just skyrocketed. It's just been absolutely incredible.
That's amazing. When you worked in the corporate world, what types of tasks or roles did you do there?
I did quite a few things. I did recruitment. I was a personal assistant for a couple of years. I was in advertising, below the line advertising, marketing.
When people think of a virtual assistant, right, it's a very general term. Could you talk a little bit about what types of tasks you handle for companies, and then also what the typical day looks like?
There is no typical day as a virtual assistant. Every day is different because we offer such a large variety of services. I offer anything from social media management to Canva design to typing out statements of work and contracts, sending them to clients, designing PowerPoint slides, presenting in meetings. It's really a very varied role. You've got to decide on what your skill set is and what you actually want to focus on, what you're good at. But really in the role, you just grow with it. You learn new things, they give you new tasks, they rely on you a lot more as they see your skill set.
Do you primarily work with the founder or the CEO of the company, or are you supporting multiple teams and departments?
So I work with the two co-founders, the two presidents of the company and the two directors. And I work very closely with them. So I'm always in meetings with them, and I'm basically like their 2IC, I suppose.
What about client facing? Do you ever jump on client calls as well?
I'm always in client calls with them as well. I'm like a little extension of the two directors. So wherever they are, I am, and I'll take notes, because the meetings everybody just talks so fast. And so I'll take notes, I'll participate every now and again, but a lot of the time I attend, I observe, and I take notes.
Nice. And this engagement you've been working on for quite a while. So I know it's something where you've really become kind of ingrained in the business. But I'd love to know a little bit about like the onboarding experience. Like what is it? And someone who is aspiring to be a virtual assistant, it can be a little bit overwhelming or intimidating when you think, hey, I'm going to jump in, be an extension of the team, but I'm going to have to help with all sorts of different tasks, right? And rely on a lot of different skill sets. Could you speak about how, when you take on a new client, what that onboarding process usually looks like?
Yeah, that can be a little bit of a strange thing in the beginning because you have no idea how they work, but if they communicate really well, it's so easy. You both discuss what tools you have knowledge of working on, and most of the time everybody uses the same. And because everything is just done remotely, you're all working online, you're all showing each other's screens, it's just the easiest thing to do onboarding with a client. It really is. And learning new programs that they work on and learning the way they like to work, it's very easy. I actually find it easier doing onboarding in a remote environment like this than in a bricks and mortar environment.
That's interesting, and it runs counter to a lot of at least what we hear, in the US, the return to work, because a lot of businesses are now after COVID, hey everyone, come back to the office so that we can work together and be around each other because it makes things like that a lot easier. So it is interesting hearing, no, this can be done very well and efficiently online in a remote environment. Speaking of remote, you are in South Africa, correct? What part of South Africa are you in?
I'm in Johannesburg, South Africa.
And lived there all of your life, or no? You
Born and
have.
bred. Born and bred.
Excellent. And your clients that you have, they tend to be all over, correct? They're not necessarily in South Africa. How do you handle the time difference?
I'm a night owl, really. So, I'm awake anyway, so I might as well be earning money while I'm awake and the family's all sleeping. So I integrate it so easily with it, really.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's something that comes up when we talk to new prospective quickly hire clients. A lot of folks think I need someone in my time zone, and we very quickly can show that that's not always the case. That there are the great thing about working remote and the flexibility with working through a company like Quickly Hire is that you get to choose when you want to work and you're able to work when it fits you and your lifestyle. And that's been a neat thing. So it's great to hear from you on how you facilitate that. The tools that you tend to work with, you mentioned that a lot of the tools are similar across companies, but what are some tools that you have proficiency and a deep skill set in?
So for project management, it's been Asana. For communication within the corporation that you're working for, Slack is fantastic to communicate. It's a lot quicker than email, and it's got everything that email can do. Plus, I love Slack. Slack is just my best friend. And Box was something that I never knew about. I always knew about Dropbox, but Dropbox is just incredible for sharing documents, working on documents together. Very similar to Google Drive, but I just found it simpler and easier and quicker to work with.
Nice. Knowing that you handle such a wide range of tasks and working in so many different tools, what's your preference? If you could spend most of the time working on one particular type of task, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question because I love all of them. But I love social media management. I do enjoy that. But I enjoy project coordination. That's something that I have learned with my client that I'm with now. It was never something that I had ever experienced, and they just taught me, built me on it, and I love the coordination. That's great.
Are these primarily like web design or creative projects that they're working on?
Yes, so they've got a team of designers, and there's web design, there's print design, there's all sorts of design. And so from beginning to end, I work very closely with the client services director, and her and I just coordinate from beginning to end. Great.
That's
I
great.
love seeing
That's
them create something from nothing. It's amazing.
fantastic. Project management can be challenging, right? Because you have client needs and demands. Sometimes scope changes. You start out in one place and then it changes to something else. So managing the client and expectations and then features that are changing, but then also the team that's handling the fulfillment, designers, developers. So it is a very valuable skill to be able to pull all of that together. So, Kerry, someone that is considering becoming a virtual assistant, what are some tips that you could share with them in order to develop the skills, but also have successful engagements with clients?
So I would say you definitely have to have a niche. You can't just go in and say, I offer all of this and expect to be given all of that. They are always looking for a niche. They need someone to do social media management or project coordination, etc., etc. So you need to have your niche, you need to market yourself in that niche, you need to be confident in that niche. I would say over communicate, especially working in a remote environment. You have to communicate because it can be so easy to just go quiet, work on your own, and nobody's actually working on the same thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the other thing that I've seen from that is that sometimes when there aren't constant updates, the client can get a little bit, especially in a remote environment, the client can start to feel, wait a minute, are they working on what I asked them to work on? And it introduces doubt sometimes with the client that can kind of take things down a negative path.
Yes. So always show up, be reliable, be dependable, ask questions, just show them that you are there all the time. And also, if you need to pop out to go fetch the kids from school, little things like that, you just say, popping away from my desk for X amount of minutes, we'll be back. Just be transparent, I think, is the word I'm looking for.
Excellent. That was great, Kerry. Thanks for sharing that. So, Kerry, when you're not helping clients with all of the range of tasks that you're helping them with, what do you enjoy doing during your spare time?
Spare time.
Yes.
I have two daughters, so I use my time to run them around because I work mainly early afternoon and evening. I've got my mornings so I do boxing classes. I joined a ladies boxing gym. We don't hit each other, we hit bags and we exercise. And artsy crafty things and DIY projects around home. So just home stuff really.
That's great. I've got a 13-year-old, so I know, at certain ages, the activities increase. And so I feel like I'm constantly just, bouncing around from activity to activity. And where I am, we're nearing the end of our school year. So April and May is just always slammed with band concerts and end of the year stuff.
Yes. My daughters are 17 and 6.
Excellent. Yeah, keep you quite busy. So, could you speak a little bit, Carrie, about your experience with Quickly Hire? How has it helped you in your career?
I have to say on record that I am incredibly grateful to Quickly Hire because I was contacted via LinkedIn. It was by Keith. He connected with me on LinkedIn and did the onboarding. The onboarding was just so good, so smooth, so friendly. Quickly Hire came into my life when I really, really needed it. I was out there scrambling for clients and I just felt so defeated and business it was slow, it was quiet. And I onboarded with Quickly Hire in the December. By the January, I had met Colby and he had introduced me to the client that I'm with now. And I've been with them since February last year. I initially started with them at 20 hours a week as a virtual assistant. I have grown now to 40 hours a week as a marketing coordinator for them. And because of Quickly Hire, I've learned so much. I've grown so much. It's given me confidence, knowledge, skill set. So I'm incredibly grateful. The community as well on the app, the communication, the community. I see developers asking each other questions and everyone's just so helpful. It's really been incredible. It's a wonderful community. And as I say, very, very grateful.
Thank you so much, Carrie. That means a lot. I'm glad we have been able to help in some way in your career and in your life. I will say that we are nothing without the wonderful pros that are in our network. And so your skill set and how successful you've been on this project dictates our success. All of this is really based on, how great you have done in this engagement. Especially, it's incredible to go from 20 hours to 40 hours and have career growth as well. So you obviously are just doing a tremendous job in your role, and we wish you all the very best, and we're here to support and help as you need us. Thank you. Well, I appreciate your time today and coming on the podcast and sharing the tips and a little bit more about your background and experience. It's been wonderful talking with you.
Thank you, Brad, and you too.
Thank you for tuning in to Fractional Focus. If you're a skilled professional looking to build your fractional career or a founder seeking top-tier talent without the full-time commitment, visit quicklyhire.com today. Subscribe for more conversations with exceptional professionals who are redefining the future of work.